Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of It Goes Off Wrap of the Round. Well, it was the first round of 2012 and I think it was a round that told us what probably we already knew, and that is the Perth Wildcats and the New Zealand Breakers are the teams to beat for this year's championship. Grantley Bernard, talk us through all the winners and losers of round 14.
The Perth Wildcats certainly did put their power on display against the Melbourne Tigers, winning 72-67 in Perth. Redditch and Lish got the bulk of the points for the Wildcats. Dragar and Rush with 17 apiece for the Tigers. The Wildcats blew this one open in the third quarter with a 20-8 effort. They only shot 36% from the field for the game, but they had 4 plays in double digits, dominated the rebounds, and a very good effort. The Tigers had 24 turnovers, which was not good. Adelaide 67 lost to the Cairns Taipans. Diamond Simpson a double-double, as did Daniel Johnson. The Taipans, their imports Warren and Wilson combined for 41 points. Cairns got over the top with a 23-17 fourth quarter. They took the lead on Warren's 3 early in the fourth and never relinquished it. The Sydney Kings 102, the Gold Coast Blaze 96. Jeri Grant 23 points from 10 of 14 field goals and a dozen rebounds. Aaron Bruce with 21 points. Worthington a double-double and Gibson 15 points for the Blaze. The Kings only shot 19 of 30 free throws, so they could have won by a more comfortable margin had they been a bit accurate from the charity stripe. The Kings had 6 plays in double digits in scoring, and so did the Blaze, so it was a bit of a scoring fest. The Blaze didn't help themselves with 23 turnovers. Julian Kazoo back in a bit of form with a double-double of 14 points and 11 rebounds. The Wollongong Hawks 57, the Townsville Crocs 72. The Hawks really struggled in this one. Davidson with 11 points was the only Hawk scorer in double digits. Chris Cedar with 15. Jacob Holmes with 13 points, 16 rebounds and 7 assists with a great all-round performance. The Crocs cracked open this nut with a 24-6 third quarter. As we said, the Hawks struggled, only 31% shooting from the field. Very ordinary effort. Finally, the Melbourne Tigers 79 lost on their home floor to the Breakers 90. Cam Dragar backed up with another good game, 22 points, 11 of 15 from the field. Ubaka 17. Abercrombie 18 points. Corletto back on his former home floor with 15 points for the Breakers. New Zealand was a close game till the first half, and then New Zealand with a 50-34 second half broke it open, got the job done. New Zealand 38-22 rebounds and 42 points in the paint to 24 showed their inside strength against the Tigers. And special mention to Cedric Jackson of the Breakers, our man Ced.
Brilliant.
Who's got the cred. 11 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists. If he had have had a crack, he would have had a triple-double.
Well, he was very close. He's diminutive in size. He's only a little fella, but amazing to get in there and pick up those 9 rebounds. Almost a triple-double, as you mentioned. But more importantly, the New Zealand Breakers, they looked very, very impressive. And perhaps we've seen some of the issues the Melbourne Tigers have to face if they're going to be contenders, because they looked a little off the pace against the 2 favourites for this year's title. Let's take a look at the NBL ladder. And at the top of the table, as we all expected, and it's a pretty impressive win-loss record by both these teams at 11-5, very evenly matched. That is the Perth Wildcats, the New Zealand Breakers. They'll be jostling, you would expect, for those 1 and 2 spots. Then it's wide open. The Townsville Crocs with that win over the Wollongong Hawks up to third place with 7 and 6. The Taipans at 8 and 7. And I guess it also shows some of the discrepancy with the fixtures too, because you've got the Crocs playing 13 games. The Melbourne Tigers already played 17 games and 9 and 8 and just hanging on. And they've still got some tough games to come in this month as well. So a real pivotal month for the Melbourne Tigers. The Sydney Kings put themselves back in a position where they can think about the playoffs. The Blaze, we mentioned we weren't going to talk about them until they strung a few together. They weren't able to bounce back. They're at 6 and 7. The Sixers are disappointing at 5 and 10, and the Wollongong Hawks stone cold motherly last at 3 and 11, and they look like that not only are they not winning, they're not playing well at all, only scoring 57 points.
They're plucked.
They look like they are plucked, but anything can happen. Still a ways to go yet in the iiNet NBL season. Hey, for a full and comprehensive coverage of all the goings on in round 14, check out the full version of It Goes On.